All right, today we're going to talk about a problem that, let's be honest, drives almost every organization crazy: data chaos. Well, Microsoft's answer is a complete rethink of how we handle all of it, and it's called Fabric. So let's dive in and see what it's all about.
If you've ever had to work with data, this question probably hits a little too close to home. You know the feeling. Your data is just scattered everywhere, across all these different systems, and trying to connect the dots feels like a constant uphill battle. And this mess doesn't just slow you down. It actively gets in the way of making any real progress.
And here's what that chaos actually looks like day to day. First, you've got data silos, locking away incredibly valuable insights in different departments. Then you're stuck building these super complex integrations just to get your tools to talk to each other. And maybe, worst of all, you end up with constant data duplication, multiple versions of the truth, which just leads to confusion and, frankly, some really costly mistakes.
So to tackle this problem head-on, Microsoft is proposing a pretty radical new approach. Let's get into the solution: Microsoft Fabric.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, the official line is that it's an end-to-end unified SaaS platform. But what that really means is that the goal here is to handle the whole shebang, from getting the data in to engineering it, all the way to business intelligence and AI, all under one roof. This slide right here is absolutely key to getting the big idea. You see all your familiar tools up top: Data Factory, Power BI, and the rest. But here's the real game changer. They all connect to a single shared foundation. This is not just slapping a new name on old products. It is a fundamental architectural shift, all built around a single source of truth.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, but how does Microsoft actually pull this off? How do they get all these different tools to work together so seamlessly? Well, let's peel back the layers and take a look at the foundation.
This whole unified experience is made possible by three foundational pillars. We're going to break down each one, because this is where the magic really happens.
The first, and honestly the most critical pillar, is something called OneLake. This is the bedrock of the entire platform. It's a single, unified data lake for your whole organization. And you know what that means? Those data silos we were just talking about, they basically become a thing of the past.
And this is the analogy that makes it all just click. It's perfect. Just like OneDrive gives you one place for all your Office documents, OneLake gives your entire organization one place for all of its data. Every team gets their own workspace, sure, but it's all part of the same unified storage system.
And this diagram is a perfect illustration of that OneDrive for data concept. You see the whole organization, the tenant, at the top. Inside that, you have workspaces that act just like folders, and inside those, you have all your actual data. It's a simple, super intuitive way to organize everything without ever having to worry about the underlying infrastructure.
Pillar number 2 is Copilot. And here, AI isn't some feature they tacked on at the end, it's woven into every single part of the experience. I mean, just imagine being able to ask for a sales report in plain English and having Copilot not only generate the query for you, but also create the visual. That's the kind of productivity boost we're talking about here.
And the third pillar is governance. Now, with all your data in one place, securing it becomes so much simpler. Fabric gives you centralized controls for security, access, and compliance, all powered by Microsoft Purview. And these rules get applied automatically across everything. So governance is built in from the ground up, not just an afterthought.
So with that rock-solid foundation in place, let's look at the fun part: the tools. Fabric provides this complete toolbox of what it calls workloads, and each one is tailored to a specific role in the data world. This slide gives us a great bird's-eye view of the architecture. You can see all the different workloads at the top: Data Factory, Data Science, Power BI, and more. They all have their own compute engines, like Spark and SQL. But notice how they all read from and write to that single central store, OneLake. That is the magic of this platform.
So for business analysts, you've got Power BI to create amazing visuals. Data engineers can use Data Factory to pull in data and Spark to transform it. Data scientists have everything they need to build and deploy machine learning models. DBAs get a powerful data warehouse. And for stuff happening in real time, there's a dedicated streaming engine. Each professional gets a tool set designed just for them.
And I really have to hammer this point home because it's the most important takeaway. These are not just separate tools that have been loosely stitched together, they are deeply integrated experiences, all working on the exact same data in one lake. That means no more copying data from your warehouse to your analytics platform. It's a true zero-copy architecture, and trust me, that changes everything.
So what does this all add up to? What is the big payoff for buying into this unified model?
This comparison really says it all, doesn't it? You're moving from a world of siloed tools, painful integrations, and duplicated data over to a unified platform with seamless integration. You go from juggling multiple security models to having simple, centralized governance. And most importantly, you go from having many copies of your data to just one, all thanks to one lake. It's a night and day difference.
And at the end of the day, this shift delivers real value. You get insights faster because you're not wasting time just moving data around. The overall complexity of your entire data world is dramatically reduced, and your teams can actually collaborate effectively because they're all working from the same page, with the same data.
So in the end, Microsoft Fabric is a lot more than just a new product. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about data, and it forces us to ask a really powerful question.